Alright guys, so today I want to show you some of my ball pythons that I currently have for sale, and these are the hatchlings that I hatched out last fall. They're growing really fast, getting pretty big, and I want to go through them one by one, show you each one in detail. And if you're wondering how to buy my ball pythons, I pretty much only sell them at the local reptile shows here in Colorado. There's two coming up. There's Reptilian Nation and Denver Repticon coming up in about 8 or 9 weeks. And the shows are definitely the highlight of my breeding career. It's, you know, get to meet you people and share my love of snakes and reptiles and see what everyone else says at the shows. It's a really exciting time. If you haven't been to a show, I would highly recommend going to one of these reptile shows. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you each individual snake that I have for sale, and then I realized pretty much right at the end, I was making a video yesterday about I was ultrasounding all my snakes, and I actually missed 2 of them. They're actually in this rack instead of the other rack over there, and that would be my pastel spider desert ghost female and my clown female. They're pretty much my 2 youngest snakes. I didn't ultrasound them last time, so right at the end of this video I'm going to do a quick ultrasound and see if we can expect eggs from those 2 snakes. Alright, so take a look at this snake. She's getting a little wild. This is a female lemon blast scaleless head ball python. I think I woke her from her nap and she's like freaking out. She's kind of crawling really fast. She's got some really good body condition. She's growing really fast, and keep in mind this is the scaleless head morph. Has scales missing from the head. So if you have 2 scaleless head ball pythons, you cross them together, you end up with a certain percentage of totally scaleless ball pythons. Kind of one of the cutting edge. It's a snake with no scales at all, which is pretty wild. This one has all scales except just a few missing from the head. There's not really a whole lot of people that are into the scaleless head projects. This would be a really nice female to boost your scaleless head project. So this is another scaleless head female. This is pretty much a normal, but it's 50% het caramel albino. So there's a 50% chance that this is heterozygous for caramel albino. And this one is a pretty high expression scaleless head. You can see on the head that's quite a few scales missing. Really good looking snake. Here's the belly. Really interesting pattern. Nice looking snake. Alright, so here is another beautiful hatchling from last year. This is a bamboo pastel pinstripe. So it's basically a bamboo lemon blast is what it is. And this is a female. She's growing really fast, looking really good. So if you bred this, you get bamboos, you get pinstripes, you get lemon blasts, some pastels, you get pastel bamboos, you get a whole bunch of really cool stuff if you bred with this girl. So here's another, this is actually a male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino, and if nobody buys these, I'm actually thinking of breeding the male with the female, and even in the first year, if the odds are with you, this is a 50% chance it's het for caramel albino. You could possibly get a totally scaleless caramel albino, which would be pretty amazing. Here's a really nice pastel scaleless head female. This one is really beautiful. It really got some good weight on her. I'm almost tempted to keep this one. This is, you know, this would be a really nice breeder. You mix a scaleless head with her, you could get some really nice, completely, totally scaleless ball pythons. This one has a pretty high expression scaleless head. You can see there's some scales missing from the head there. Really good looking snake. Okay, so here is another female scaleless head ball python. This one's really kind of a low expression, and really you can mix a high expression and get a whole variety of low expression and high expression. And the high expression has more scales missing than it used to be when they had fewer scales missing from the head. They were a little bit cheaper, and now it's pretty much the same across the board. It doesn't really matter how many scales are missing, and you can definitely tell it's a scaleless head because the last scale right before the vent is actually split in 2. I don't know if you can see that very last scale right there by my thumb. It's actually split into 2. And I actually went through and checked all my snakes, and only the scaleless head had this split scale on the vent, which is pretty much a telltale sign that this is a scaleless head ball python. All right, so take a look at this snake, one of my most impressive ball python hatchlings from last year. This is a male calico bamboo. Just look what the calico does to the bamboo. This is like an insane looking snake. It is really wild looking, and I'm trying to mix this into more genes and maybe do like a calico bamboo pinstripe. Add the pinstripe in, and I think it would be kind of interesting to see what all three genes look like in the same snake. But this will definitely be at the show. This is a male, really good looking. This is probably one of my biggest hatchlings. He's pretty hefty. I'm thinking this fall he'll probably be ready to breed. He looks like he's almost at a breeding size. So here is my bamboo lesser female, really beautiful white snake, and I'm actually surprised these haven't sold at the shows. There's so many people that picked these up and looked at them, and they're actually allelic, so if you bred it to a normal, half the babies would be bamboo, half the babies would be lesser. Really good looking snake. Alright, here is my other scaleless head lemon blast. These two girls are pretty much almost exactly the same, from the same exact clutch. Really high expression scaleless head. And I'm really shooting for, at some point, holding some of these back and going for the totally scaleless lemon blast, which would be a pretty incredible snake. Alright, so here is another all-white snake. It's another lesser bamboo, but this one is a male. You mix the male and female together, you would get whole clutches of all-white snakes, and these have bright blue eyes, so that'd be pretty incredible to have a whole clutch of these really beautiful snakes. Here is a male pastel bamboo, really beautiful. Really has a lot of really interesting patterns all along the snake. The bellies are usually pretty white, and these guys are doing really good, and there's no problems at all with any of these hatchlings. I haven't had any genetic anomalies, no head wobbles or anything. They're all eating really well. These are all doing great. Here is a male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. He's got quite a few scales missing from the top of his head, and actually if I end up with a male and a female, I'm definitely going to breed them together. Go for the completely scaleless caramel albino. Here's another male pastel bamboo, and there's been quite a few people asking me if I still have these for sale and how they can buy them. They'll be at the show. I actually have 3 of them. I have one more coming up. These are really good looking snakes. Here's another male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. This one has a few scales missing. I'd say it's kind of a medium expression scaleless head male. It's interesting that even with the scaleless head, it seems like it kind of gives them a little flaming on the sides, and it kind of intensifies the color and gives it some interesting, it gives it an interesting look. It looks like a normal, but it's really more intense, kind of breaks up the pattern. You could definitely tell something's in there, and that is the scaleless head coming through. Alright, here's my other male pastel bamboo, and this guy is really hefty. Look at how big he is. Look at how small the head is compared to the rest of the snake. This guy's growing like a rocket, growing almost faster than the head can grow and keep up. He is looking really good. It seems like this one's maybe a little bit more of a higher contrast than my other ones. Really bright. Alright, so this is my very last one. This is a male bamboo, just a straight bamboo. Really good looking snake for just a straight bamboo. I'm surprised this one actually hasn't sold because it's one of the really high contrasty ones. The colors just pop. It's just pretty amazing. Alright, so here is my ultrasound machine and my clown female. It looks like she's building eggs. She was only about 1,500 grams when I started the season, so she's by far one of my smallest ball pythons that I actually bred. And I was hoping she would lay. We'll see what she actually looks like with the ultrasound here. So you have to definitely put some gel on the probe, and that actually completes the connection between the probe and the body of the snake. And really what you want to do is you want to come up about 1/3 of the snake. It's pretty much right where her head is, right in here. So I'm going to have to move her head a little bit and take a look right in here. This should be where the eggs are. And we'll see, it looks like she actually has some eggs there. See if I can get a little more gel there. You can see this round right here, this is an egg right here. And if you kind of move up, you can see right here, there's another egg, and here's another egg. It looks like she has some good eggs building, so it looks like she's actually going to lay. These are going to be really small eggs compared to my other eggs just because she's a small snake, but it looks like she's definitely going to go this year. Alright, so my clown female, the very last snake, that one was actually paired with my albino pied, so I'm going to get triple hets. It'll be het albino, het clown, and het pied, and I'm planning on keeping all the females and one male, and it'll be really exciting. That's kind of, you know, what I'm looking forward to as far as holding some snakes back. I was thinking about holding back a lot of my bamboo stuff, and then I decided I'm going to hold back some of those triple hets and get some really interesting results in the future years breeding, you know, those triple hets back together. So this is actually my spider pastel desert ghost female. I bred it with my pastel desert ghost male, so I should get snakes that almost look exactly like this. I will get everything will be desert ghost, and I'll get spider desert ghost, pastel spider desert ghost, and then pastel desert ghost, super pastel spider desert ghost, a whole bunch of stuff on top of that. So let's see, I'm down about a third, which is right here. Let's take a look. And she, let's see what she has here. It looks like she has some eggs that are not quite as big. That's promising. So this is the egg right here. Not quite as far along as the other one. There's another nice egg right there. So it looks like they're pretty much past where I'm kind of indecisive if she'll go or not. She's got some good size eggs in her. She's checking out the eggs herself. I think she's actually going to go. She'll probably be one of the last to lay eggs. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the snakes that I'll have for sale at the next 2 reptile shows. Well, actually, those are the snakes I'll have at the first reptile show. You know, if depending on what I sell, I may not have them all at the second show. So you might want to go to Denver Repticon's website and Reptilian Nation's website, see what the dates and times are and all the info. If you really want a snake, I would suggest going to the first show and hitting VIP and getting in there early so you can get there first. Because let me tell you, these snakes can go incredibly fast, especially, you know, at the last shows last fall. I think, you know, we were seeing more people than we've ever seen at some of these local reptile shows, and let me tell you, snakes were just selling so fast I couldn't even keep them on my table. As a matter of fact, you know, I almost sold out, and I actually came back, and that's when I started putting my holdbacks in with my other snakes because I actually ran out of hatchlings and I didn't have enough for the second day at the show, and then I just started selling all my holdbacks on top of that. And really, I'm really excited about holding back some of these albino pied clown combos. Let me tell you, you start mixing those together, you'll get albinos, you'll get clowns, clown pieds, albino pieds, albino clown pieds. it'll be really incredible, especially, you know, cutting open the eggs. What are you going to get? A normal, a clown, a pied, an albino. You never know what's going to pop out. It'll be kind of like an Easter egg. You know, every time you open up a clutch of eggs, it's like Easter. You never know what you're going to get. It'll be pretty exciting. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.